Hello guys, welcome back today. We're going to talk about NHL 19 and the potential athletes that could be on the cover this year. And one of my favorite things to speculate every year is who will be on the cover of the NHL video game, and it usually is pretty unpredictable and usually comes out of nowhere. Despite Big David being last year, it's pretty much been unpredictable. And honestly, that's what makes it so fun every year, because you never know what player will be on there. Sometimes you have a general idea, but usually you don't know exactly. The last 4 years in NHL 14, we'll start with that. Martin Brodeur was the last goaltender on the cover for the NHL video games. That was in NHL 14. NHL 15, you had Patrice Bergeron. In NHL 16, you had Jonathan Toews. In NHL 17, Vladimir Tarasenko. And NHL 18, Connor McDavid. And that's been the last four, and of course, leading up to NHL 19. And what really got the excitement stirring was when the NHL tweeted out a tweet earlier today showing all the past cover athletes together and the new one, but it was in a silhouette, it was in a question mark and all that, so we didn't know exactly what player that was, but there was a picture in the comments that, revealed some stuff. One of the pictures in the comments section for that tweet showed almost an exact replica of a pose by PK Subban in one of his games, and it was pretty close. And if it's not the exact same picture, it was pretty close. But it was a striking down pose with a stick on the ice. It was pretty generic, but it was pretty close and it was pretty exact. Now, I don't have too much stock in PK Subban being it, but that pose, the pose where it has a stick on the ice, it was pretty generic, and I feel like I've seen a few players that have made that pose in one of their pictures. Now, it could be any player, or it could be PK Subban. I'm not doubting that it's PK Subban. I just seen a lot of players put that generic pose on the ice, so it could be another player. It's not confirmed to be PK Subban anyways. But what they also said on that tweet, the NHL 19 Twitter account said that it was a player that had not gone on the cover before. So that pretty much eliminates all the Alex Ovechkin speculation, since he was on the cover of NHL 2007. And yes, of course, Alex Ovechkin would have been my favorite, but until they said that, it pretty much struck down that speculation. And of course, they will be revealing the cover art and the NHL Awards on June 20th. I will be live streaming that, by the way, so make sure you check that out. But another shameless plug, they will be showing the casing that in a couple of days, so we'll know pretty soon. It's not like it's super far out. But again, while the picture hints at PK Subban, it doesn't confirm that it is him. I feel like there could be a lot of players that can still use that. And while they use that generic picture of just the silhouette of a player, whoever it may be, it might not be the cover photo. It might be a different photo. While they used a picture of a random player and blacked it out, it could still be a different player that we see. It could still be a completely different pose. Now, there was a rumor that I was hearing about that it would be Jamie Benn, but I don't know how likely that is, even though I'd love to see it, since it is the player on the back of my jersey right now, one of my favorite players in the NHL, if not my favorite player in the NHL, so I'd love to see that happen, but I don't know how realistic that would really be if the Stars to make the playoffs. We'll see what happens there, but I would definitely like that. But if I had to pick a team, if I had to pick a player from a team, it would probably be a player on the Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't know who exactly, but I would like to see it from the Lightning. It could be Hedman, it could be Kucherov, it could be Braden Point, it could be Stamkos, but I feel like it's going to be a player on the Lightning. I don't know why I have that gut feeling, but I feel like it will be a player on the Lightning. It's something to that nature. It could be a team like the Washington Capitals or whatever, but I feel like Tampa Bay could be one of those teams. But if I had to bet on one single player, I'd have to put on Nikita Kucherov. While we had a lot of speculation last season that he could be on the cover, I still think that Kucherov is a prime candidate for that spot. And even though, of course, a lot of us are leaning on PK Subban because it looked like a similar picture, I still think that Nikita Kucherov could be a good candidate for that. And I think it is very likely. Now, that's not to say that there's other players in the league that can definitely fill that mold. There's lots of players in the Capitals, the Golden Knights, the Jets, teams that made the playoffs and had a good stretch there. I feel like there's a lot of potential candidates. There's obviously a lot of great players in the NHL right now that they can definitely take a kin to. Now, of course, they can go something wacky right now and just go off the board and something that we didn't really expect, but I feel like it'll be a player from a team to at least make the second round, even though, of course, there's the Jamie Benn rumors that I just talked about. I feel like it'll be a team that had some decent success, at least, in the playoffs, and I feel like a team on the Tampa Bay Lightning, team on perhaps the Winnipeg Jets, could fit that bill. As I say that, Matthews will somehow become the NHL 19 cover. Just watch. But honestly, Leafs haven't had a cover guy for a long time. It seems pretty likely to me. But honestly, it could be anyone. Honestly, the cover photo is such a wild card, such a coin flip, that we really can't really pinpoint one guy. And while, of course, it's looking like PK Subban because of that cover photo, I still think that it could be anyone right now. And while it isn't that prominent in the NHL video games, the player cover curse could still be in effect here. So if it is PK Subban, sorry for the injury-riddled season, bud. Hey, nothing personal, you just got that cover player curse. But again, even though I can't pinpoint one person, I would say that Nikita Kucherov, if it isn't PK Subban, will be my biggest bet. I feel like he has some, he's well known, of course. I feel like it's about time that he finally gets it. But again, speculating about this kind of thing, there's so many players that could be on the cover that it's really hard to pinpoint one guy and be really certain about that one guy. But I feel like if it isn't PK Subban, it's going to be one of the guys that we've seen for a while that probably deserves it by now. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see what they go with and how that player performs going into the next season, of course, the player curse. But it's going to be interesting who they pick and who they want to showcase for their new NHL game. But once again, another shameless plug. I will be streaming the NHL Awards on June 20th, so you'll be able to see my live reaction to whoever gets revealed. So that's going up for today, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tell me down below what you think. Who do you think will be the cover of NHL 19? Which player do you think it'll be? And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.